I want to talk about horror films and why I like them and what my favourite types are. When I was young, I watched the classic horror films like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. And my mum told me that when I was about 6, she came downstairs in the middle of the night because there was a noise. And it was me watching The Omen on TV in the dark on my own. So I guess I've always liked horror films. I really like what are called slasher films, the really gory, bloody, violent films like Final Destination and The Hills Have Eyes. I just find them quite funny and I like the special effects. I don't really find them scary at all. I think the scariest sort of films are the ones that are very tense, like Hitchcock films. I think the scariest one for me is The Birds, because it's just very sinister the way that the birds come and sit and look at the people, and you know that it's going to be really bad very soon. But I think my favourite sort of horror films are zombie movies. I've watched loads of zombie movies and I really like them. Again, I don't really think they're very scary. Dawn of the Dead is my absolute favourite horror film, I think. It's a film where people just wake up one morning and there are zombies everywhere. If a zombie bites you, you turn into a zombie. And the survivors end up in a shopping mall, in a shopping centre, and they're surrounded by zombies, and it does not have a happy ending. There's a British comedy horror film called Shaun of the Dead, which is a bit of a joke on the idea of the Dawn of the Dead, which is also really great. And the most recent one I watched was a New Zealand film called Black Sheep, which is about zombie sheep. That was pretty funny as well. The most recent horror film I watched was on a plane last time I went back to the UK. It was a Stephen King film, or it was based on a Stephen King book, I think a short story, and it was called The Mist. It was about people who lived in a small town in America, and there was a hurricane, or typhoon, as we call them here. And after the typhoon, they wanted to go into town to get some supplies to fix up the house. And it started to get misty or foggy. It was quite a strange mist. It didn't look normal. And these people ended up in a hardware store in the town, all trapped together because there were sort of monsters in the mist, these unrealistic giant creatures that were in the mist that were killing people. There was quite a lot of blood and guts, and people died in horrible ways, which is what I like about horror films. I would recommend it if you like horror films as much as I do.